Warren Buffett. The name is legendary in the world of finance, a man who turned a paper route and a handful of stock picks into one of the largest personal fortunes in human history, worth over $130 billion today. But the real story? It's not about a sudden jackpot or a viral startup. It's a slow burn, a tale of relentless reading, discipline, and compound interest. From childhood side hustles to deals that changed capitalism, this is the epic journey of Warren Buffett and how he made billions. Warren Edward Buffett was born on August 30th, 1930, in Omaha, Nebraska, during the Great Depression. His father, Howard, was a stockbroker and later a U.S. congressman. Young Warren didn't play with toys. He read financial books. At age 7, he found 1,000 Ways to Make $1,000 at his local library. That book changed everything. By age 6, Warren was buying 6-packs of Coca-Cola for 25 cents and selling each bottle for a nickel in school, making a 20% profit. At 11, he bought 3 shares of Cities Service Preferred for $38 a share, using his savings. When the price dropped to $27, Warren was scared, but he held. When it bounced back to $40, he sold. Then the stock surged to $200. He learned his first big investing lesson: patience pays. In high school, Warren had multiple businesses. He delivered 500+ newspapers a day, operated pinball machines in barbershops, sold used golf balls and stamps, and even filed a tax return at 14, deducting his bike expenses from the taxes. By the time he graduated high school, he'd saved over $5,000, the equivalent of $60,000 today. And what did he do with it? He bought a 40-acre farm and rented it out. At just 16, Buffett enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania. But 2 years later, he transferred to the University of Nebraska and graduated at 19 with a degree in business and a fierce ambition to get rich. His dream was to study under the legendary investor Benjamin Graham, author of The Intelligent Investor. Buffett applied to Harvard Business School and was rejected. So he applied to Columbia, where Graham taught, and got in. That decision was destiny. At Columbia, Buffett absorbed Graham's principles of value investing. Buy stocks like groceries, not like perfume. The idea was simple: buy stocks below intrinsic value and hold them. After graduation, Warren wanted to work for Graham. Graham said no, repeatedly. So Warren returned to Omaha and worked as a stockbroker. But he never stopped learning. He read hundreds of pages daily and even taught night classes on investing, despite being younger than some of his students. In 1954, Graham finally offered Buffett a job at Graham Newman Corp. In New York. Warren learned the trade firsthand. But in 1956, Graham retired, and Buffett headed back to Omaha to start his own investment firm. He opened Buffett Associates Limited with just $105,000 pooled from friends and family. Warren himself put in $100. He operated from a small room in his house, wearing a white shirt, tie, and zero flash. Over the next 13 years, Buffett averaged 29.5% annual returns, more than doubling the S&P 500's 7.4% return. Buffett hunted for what he called cigar butts, companies so cheap you could get a free puff of value. It was classic Graham-style investing. He bought small department stores, textile mills, and failing businesses, anything trading far below book value. One example? Sanborn Map Company, a sleepy firm with valuable real estate on its books. Buffett bought 44% of it, pushed for a dividend, and made a huge profit. In 1962, Buffett stumbled onto a failing textile firm called Berkshire Hathaway. He began buying its stock at $7.60 per share. By 1965, he owned enough to take control and installed himself as CEO. Most people would have fixed the textile business. Buffett didn't bother. Instead, he used the shell of Berkshire Hathaway as his investment vehicle. He bought National Indemnity, an insurance company, in 1967. Why? Insurance float. The premiums collected before paying out claims gave him billions to invest. This was the beginning of something massive. Over time, Buffett turned Berkshire into a conglomerate, using cash flow from boring businesses to buy great companies. In the 1970s, he bought See's Candies for $25 million, a brand he never sold. The Washington Post, becoming close with Katharine Graham, and even began dabbling in media, energy, and furniture. The 1980s were Buffett's golden decade. He stopped chasing cigar butts and started investing in high-quality businesses with long-term moats. In 1988, he made one of his most iconic moves, buying $1.3 billion in Coca-Cola stock. Why Coke? He liked the brand, the global reach, and honestly, he drank 5 cans a day. That investment has paid off massively. Berkshire now owns over 400 million shares and has received over $10 billion in dividends since the 80s. In 1986, Warren officially became a billionaire. But he didn't change. He still lived in the same modest home he bought in 1958 for $31,500. His philosophy was simple. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. During the dot-com boom of the late 90s, Buffett was criticized for being old-fashioned. He didn't buy into internet stocks. He didn't invest in Microsoft, Amazon, or eBay. CNBC pundits called him a dinosaur. Berkshire stocks stagnated. But when the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, Buffett was vindicated. Tech companies with no profits went bankrupt. Buffett's value stocks kept printing cash. By the mid-2000s, he made several key investments: BNSF Railway, Moody's, PetroChina, and of course, more insurance businesses. By 2006, Buffett's net worth hit $50 billion. But instead of celebrating, he made a historic announcement. He would give away 99% of his wealth, most of it to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The move stunned the world. It was the largest philanthropic pledge in history at the time. Then came the 2008 financial crisis. While panic swept the markets, Buffett saw opportunity. He injected $5 billion into Goldman Sachs, securing preferred shares and warrants. He also invested $3 billion into General Electric, again with incredibly favorable terms. Both deals earned billions in profits and showcased Buffett's legendary timing. In the 2010s, his biggest move was Apple. Between 2016 and 2018, Buffett poured over $35 billion into Apple stock, despite saying for years he didn't invest in tech. The reason? Apple wasn't a tech stock to Buffett. It was a consumer product business with brand loyalty, pricing power, and sticky customers. He was right. Today, Berkshire's Apple stake is worth over $135 billion, making it Buffett's single biggest win. By 2021, his net worth crossed $100 billion. Now in his 90s, Warren Buffett remains as sharp as ever. He still lives in his Omaha house, still reads 5 hours a day, and still drinks Cherry Coke and eats Dairy Queen. As of 2025, his net worth is over $130 billion, even after giving away more than $50 billion to charity. Berkshire Hathaway owns over 60 subsidiaries, including Geico, Duracell, Fruit of the Loom, Precision Cast Parts, and yes, Dairy Queen. Even now, he teaches timeless investing principles. Buy what you understand. Hold long-term. Avoid debt. Trust compound interest. Buffett once said, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." His legacy is not just in billions, but in wisdom. He's inspired generations to think long-term, stay rational, and be generous. In conclusion, Warren Buffett built one of the greatest fortunes in history, without flashy tech, without leverage, and without shortcuts. He made his billions one decision at a time, by understanding businesses, by waiting, and by staying true to timeless values. In a world obsessed with speed, Buffett reminds us, wealth is built in decades, not days. If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a dose of financial wisdom. Thanks for watching, and remember, the best investment you can make is in yourself.